What's going on YouTube? So today we're going to be reviewing the fake Figma guts from Berserk. Alright, so this is a $35 figure, and just from looking at it right now, I think that it is a really good figure, but it has many cons and many pros really. But starting off with the details and paint in his face, I say that if it would focus, I say that it's pretty good. And like his eye is not wonky, and I mean the other eye, I feel like it is really good and well designed. And the hair is also another thing that I think is really good. And they even got the brand in his neck, which I would like to be more like visible, I think. But going down to his back, this is on a hook. This holds a sword for when we get into the accessories next. But um the there's no paint on his shoulder pads. Um but there is some silver paint in the screws on there, I think is what they're for. The knives are well separated between the brown and the black. The armor plate is kind of shiny, and his muscles are like they got the veins in there and they're well sculpted. Uh Now going to his arm, uh the ugly ball joint is pretty well hidden, and the arm itself has a very good design. And the shoulder, I mean, my bad, not the shoulder, the elbow, uh it goes up from like the tricep down to the forearm, and when you do bend it, it does disconnect, but obviously it has to do that for well movement. Now the now for uh his wristbands, they're kind of pink, not really white, but I don't know if it will pick up on camera, but it is definitely odd. But they're kind of sticky because I think it's made with a bad paint or something. His legs are pretty shiny, as you can see, and the the creases are very nice, and the boots are pretty well. I mean, you can't really mess them up since it's a plain color. And the joints aren't ugly, which is cool. There is no joint in the toe. And yeah. Now now let's get to the articulation. All right, so the articulation is going to be kind of fast because it is not that good. So the biggest issue is in his shoulders. This shoulder goes up for some reason farther than this one. This one only goes up this far. That the armor is stopping it because I'm pretty sure it's because of that strap right there. But this one with its prosthetic is a lot better than this one for some reason. I don't know if it's a design flaw or if I have to move it a certain way, but there is no bicep swivel, so you have very little movement. Like you can't move it at all left or right. Uh there I mean there's a basic bend in the elbow, and his wrists, they come off really easy. Like they just slide right on in and off. Like there's not really any attachment really. But same for this one, just a little less movement because of the prosthetic is bigger. His legs are pretty flimsy, and they do not go in a good split. And I mean that's basic right there. You can't really mess up on knee joints. This is very limited also. Uh, for a side split, it's all right. It's not the best, but yeah, as I said, that would go fast. And there's like none right here. There's none in the mid, but the neck, like the neck, it's pretty good. The the base neck moves around a lot and has a good turning. So I feel like the neck movement is definitely really good. So overall, for a figure, the base figure, I give it a rating of articulation. I give the articulation rating probably a 5. Not that good. But overall sculpt, I give the sculpt for $35. I would give it a solid 8, 8.5. Now let's get into the accessories. Alright, so the most iconic accessory is the Dragon Slayer's sword. And I know there's not that many flaws you can do on a sword, but it's mainly just the paint. I mean, there's a good like rough like metal. I mean, they would call it a metal in the anime. This is obviously a plastic, but there's a nice rough thing right there. But you can see that the paint is splattered on there. But again, it's $35. It is not flimsy. It is stiff. And another cool thing about this is that you can move this around and you can take it off so you can easily slide it into Guts's hands. The chain that's normally right here does not move. It's just like right there. So if you like it that way, you can keep it, or if you would cut it off. But the handle is kind of bent. It came in the package like that. Now let's go on to another iconic accessory of his. In my opinion, the worst accessory that he has had, quality-wise, is his cape. This cape is utterly, like, crap. Like, it is so bad. Like, it is stiff. It stays in one spot. You can't pose it. The plastic is alright, but it does not go good together. And if you just, like, bend it a little bit, it stays creased. Like, you can't fix the creasing. Like, just listen to this. Like, it's worse than cloth, you know? And the $35 Baki review that I did, the pants, they could have used the same pants material on this. And the Baki figure is crazy for $35. But yeah, there's not much about this, but it is very bad. The glue does not stay good on this. It just, like, pops right off on the sides. But yeah, I give this literally a 0. I mean, for running poses, because like it goes like off like this whenever you put it on Guts. For running poses and for pictures, I would give it probably a 3. But other than that, it's just bad. Now getting into hands, we got his iconic cannon shooting hand. It bends down like Guts does and shoots cannons out of it. Now, his hand does not actually go down like that because some people will get confused. This is actually how it looks. But I think it looks very nice and it's really cool. It's good for posings. It goes good together. And yeah, overall, I'm not going to rate every hand, but just him looking like this, I would give this a solid, a solid 8, I think. Now we got a holding hand. To hold his sword, I think. I don't think his hand can open up like this in the anime, I don't think. A flimsy, or at least flimsy for me, punching hand. A open hand that looks really nice. Now on his right hand, we have a open hand for holding his sword. A tilted hand for tilted sword holding, I think. Or whenever a sword's like upside down, I think. A punching hand for obviously punching, and a head that does not go on Guts. I will show you why. So whenever you're trying to take the Guts head off, like this, his, like, only half of the peg comes out. And if you get this, I wouldn't recommend doing this because the peg could break. But yeah, it's just stuck in there. So maybe if you're lucky, it will come off in one go, and this is what it would look like if it was on his head. But I think the paint looks good on this one also. But yeah, that pretty much sums up the video. But let's do a comparison of the sword and Guts real quick. So the sword is a bit taller than Guts, I think. And Guts is 6'8" in the anime, I'm pretty sure. Even though, like, the Yujiro figure looks a lot bigger. Yujiro video coming a long time from now because my shipping got messed up, so no Yujiro video for a long time. But yeah, let me know what you think about this figure, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Thank you for all the support. I did not know I'd be getting this many subscribers in this short of time. But yeah, thank you guys. Have a great day. Peace out.